And the worst part? A quiet, shameful part of me already wanted to see it again. After the mirror incident, I thought Clara would let things rest, at least for a while. But if I'd learned anything by now, it was that she never moved backward. Only forward, quietly but relentlessly. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. I was still lingering in the cardigan and slim slacks she had laid out that morning when Clara appeared in the doorway, holding that same small box of makeup she'd used before. "Let's practice again," she said softly, almost coaxingly. My chest tightened. "Clara, we can't keep doing this." She only tilted her head. "Can't? Or won't?" And just like before, I sat in the chair while she brushed foundation, added the faint color to my lips, softened the lines I had once defended so fiercely. When she finished, she looked proud, but not surprised. As if this was always where we were meant to end up. But this time, fate added a twist neither of us planned. The doorbell rang. My stomach lurched. "Don't answer it," I whispered. But Clara only smiled. "Relax. It's probably a package." Except it wasn't. She opened the door and in walked Dana, my old friend from years back, the one who had seen me at my most brash, my most defiant. My heart nearly stopped. Clara ushered her in with casual ease, as though nothing were unusual. Dana's eyes flicked toward me, widened slightly, then softened. She didn't laugh. She didn't recoil. Instead, she smiled, warm, genuine. "You look different," she said carefully. My face burned. I fumbled for words, but Clara jumped in smoothly. "He's been going through some changes. Finding what really fits him." Dana studied me for a moment, then nodded slowly. "You know, it suits you." "I mean it. You seem lighter." Her kindness cut deeper than cruelty ever could. I wanted her to challenge me, to give me a reason to push back. But instead, she accepted me without hesitation, and that left me with no defense. After she left, I collapsed into the chair, trembling. Clara knelt beside me, her voice a whisper. "See? Even the people who knew you before can see the truth now. You're not losing yourself, Ethan. You're becoming yourself." And though I wanted to scream in denial, the words wouldn't come. Because in Dana's eyes, I had seen something terrifying. Not recognition of who I was, but acceptance of who I was becoming. After Dana's unexpected visit, I realized something chilling. Clara and Marissa no longer had to rely on subtle nudges. The world itself had started playing along. Strangers, colleagues, even old friends like Dana, none of them pushed back. They accepted, sometimes even encouraged, what I was becoming. And Clara saw her opening. One evening, she sat across from me at the dining table, her hands folded neatly, her expression calm but resolute. "Ethan," she said, "we're done with chance. From now on, this isn't just about suggestions. It's about direction." My stomach clenched. Direction. Her lips curved into a soft smile. "Yes. You've spent months drifting into this new life, pretending it was all coincidence. But it's time to admit what we both know. You belong here." And Marissa agrees. The next day proved her point. I came home from work to find Clara and Marissa waiting in the living room. Laid out across the sofa was not just one outfit, but several. Flowing blouses, softer slacks, even a skirt with a subtle pattern. Shoes that were slim, delicate, undeniably feminine. I froze in the doorway. "No, Clara, this is too far." Marissa's eyes glimmered. "Is it? Because from where I'm standing, you've already crossed the line. You just haven't admitted it yet." Clara rose, holding up the skirt between her fingers. "Just try it. No one else has to see. Just us." I shook my head, but my protests felt hollow. Every time before, I'd said no, and yet I had always yielded. And they both knew it. Minutes later, I was standing in front of the mirror, the skirt brushing against my legs, the blouse soft against my skin. My breath came shallow, my reflection a dizzying mix of fear and strange calm. Clara stepped behind me, meeting my eyes in the glass. "See? You fit. You've been fighting yourself, Ethan. But this is who you've been moving toward all along." Marissa's voice joined from behind. "It's not about us anymore. It's about you deciding whether to keep lying to yourself, or to finally step into what you've already become." The worst part was the silence inside me. Not rage, not refusal. Just silence. Because as much as I wanted to deny them, I couldn't deny what the mirror showed me. And that silence, my silence, was the loudest answer of all. After that night with the skirt, I thought Clara and Marissa would give me space, time to process, time to breathe. But space was never part of their plan. They understood something I didn't want to admit. Hesitation only gave me room to backtrack. And they were determined not to let that happen. The test came sooner than I expected. On Friday evening, Clara announced it casually, as though it were the most ordinary thing in the world. Tomorrow, we're going to Helena's birthday dinner. You remember her from book club. My stomach tightened. Helena, the one who thought I had an eye for style. The one who'd accepted me without question. Clara smiled knowingly. She's invited couples only. Which means you're coming as you are now. No retreat, Ethan. I froze. As I am now? She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Because laid neatly on the bed was the outfit, the same skirt from last week, paired with a flowing top, a delicate scarf, and shoes that erased any chance of blending into the background. Marissa arrived the next afternoon to help. Between the two of them, resistance was impossible. Clara styled my hair, smoothing it into something softer. Marissa coached my walk again, reminding me to move with smaller, deliberate steps. By the time we stepped out the door, my heart was pounding so hard I thought I'd collapse. At Helena's dinner, the room was full laughter, clinking glasses, people I didn't know. And yet, the strangest thing happened. No one blinked. No one questioned. If anything, they welcomed me with warmth, treating me as though I'd always been this way. Clara introduced me simply, with a confidence that left no room for doubt. This is Evelyn. The name hit me like lightning. Evelyn. Not Ethan. Evelyn. And the room accepted it without pause. The rest of the evening passed in a haze. Compliments on my outfit. Smiles, laughter, casual conversations where no one slipped, no one corrected, no one exposed the truth. For the first time, the old name, the old self, felt like a ghost no one else could see. On the drive home, silence filled the car. My chest ached with confusion, shame, and something I didn't want to name. Finally, Clara whispered, her hand brushing mine. No retreat, Evelyn. Not anymore. And though part of me wanted to argue, the sound of that name echoed inside me, frightening and undeniable. After Helena's dinner, nothing was the same. I kept waiting for someone, anyone, to slip, to call me Ethan, to remind me that night had been some strange dream. But no one did. Not Helena. Not her friends. Not even Clara. Especially not Clara. At home, she spoke the name easily, as though she'd always called me Evelyn. She didn't announce it, didn't force it. It was simply there, woven into her tone like a thread I couldn't pull free from the fabric. The first time she used it in public, my chest seized. We were at the market, comparing vegetables, when she leaned over and said, "Evelyn, hand me the tomatoes." I nearly dropped the basket. But the woman beside us didn't blink. She smiled, as if the name suited me perfectly. And that was when I realized Clara wasn't just nudging me anymore. She was building a world around Evelyn, a world where resistance would look like madness, because everyone else already accepted it. Marissa, of course, was thrilled. She visited one evening with bags in hand, her eyes sparkling like she'd been waiting for this moment. Inside the bags were things I couldn't deny for what they were: skirts, dresses, soft fabrics and colors I would never have chosen myself. "Evelyn deserves a wardrobe," she said simply. I protested weakly. "This is too much." Clara touched my arm, her voice gentle but firm. "It's not too much. It's natural. Every piece is just another layer of who you already are." And when they coaxed me into trying on one of the dresses, a simple, flowing piece that brushed against my knees, I caught my reflection in the mirror and froze. Because it wasn't just clothing anymore. It wasn't just play. It was a life being stitched together around me, thread by thread, until there was no seam left to rip open. Later that night, alone in bed, I whispered my old name under my breath, just to hear how it sounded. Ethan. But the word felt heavy now. Strange. Like a name that belonged to someone else. And in the silence, The echo of Clara's voice filled me. No retreat, Evelyn. Not anymore. What had once been a secret, practiced in mirrors, hidden behind locked doors, began leaking into my everyday life. Not in dramatic bursts, but in small, unshakable ways. At first, it was the name. Clara used Evelyn so naturally that others followed without hesitation. At the cafe, the barista scribbled it on my cup without question. At the dry cleaner, the clerk greeted me with a cheerful, "Good evening, Evelyn." No one looked twice.